Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins doing another video on three very sharp looking Tighe & Friends, actually Brian Tighe & Friends integral tie breakers. I can't say enough good stuff about these. Really happy with the overall construction. That integral handle is just fluted out like his original tie breakers that had the barrel spacers and that type of thing in the back of them. This really gives you the extra meat for those of you that like a little bit heavier knife. I loved my custom tie breaker, but it was so light it almost felt delicate. Granted, it wasn't delicate. It was still a very functional high-end knife. I just prefer something that feels a little bit heavier in the hand. And this thicker integral handle, as well as the thicker blades, definitely strikes a chord for me. So these are the mid-tech versions. I do own one of the customs as well. That's how much I've really fallen in love with this one. I got the custom version in their maybe modified Tonto, not really. So I got the custom version in that blade, and then I got the mid-tech version in their clip point. Both very functional. I really like the grooves in the clip point, because not only can you flip it or use the thumb stud, all that nice grooved machining in the blade just allows your thumb to grab it and pop it right open as well. So kind of neat feature that they've got going. As we take a look at the three of these that I have here, two of these have been buffed up. The other one I left with the bead blast. These come just a straight gray bead blast from Brian Tighe & Friends. Definitely adding some serious color to these and giving you the option to get a little more customized look to it. So we'll go ahead and hit these one at a time. The first one over here I've already done a video on, but I will go ahead and throw that up there again one more time, just because it really is a sharp knife and it's a little bit different finish. But these, with all the machining that's done in these, are just beautiful knives. Really happy with the overall effect on these. Adjust the light here a little bit. You get a tiny bit of shading, but you get some really beautiful color in these. So we went with a teal to green for the main background, sanded it out, satin finished the higher flat points, and hit it with a nice bronze. The pivot cups are titanium, as well as the pocket clip. On these I went ahead and left in the form that they come from Brian Tighe & Friends, just because it's pretty sharp looking. They do this heavy bead blast that's darker on it, and it's pretty hard to buff out. You can get the high points, but it can be almost a little bit distracting. I'll show you on the other one what a buffed one looks like versus one that's not buffed. And of course you've got Brian Tighe's proprietary hardware, and just some amazing machining. These things are so beautiful. I love how he did the lanyard, how you've got it channeled out, nice hole in there. Color goes down in beautifully, and look at the machining on the top of that. That is just so beautiful. Really happy with these. Of course, it's Brian Tighe, so you're looking at button lock. They've got a little tiny Torx 5 on this side, and how that works is they can use that little tiny screw, tighten it up to center the blade, and then if you go way down in there, there's an Allen wrench that hits the back side of that screw and inside the pivot and tightens everything up. So very cool design. Again, you've got an Allen wrench in that little hole too. Beautiful designs. I really like this blade. I kind of went back and forth on the blade shape. I loved the original Tiebreaker shape, but this is the one that I ended up getting in the custom version. So Brian, Ty, and Friends, and made in the USA. This one's serial number 94, the S30V. And of course, button lock. This one is super nice and smooth, flips like a champ, and that button lock, as you use this more and more, they break in. This one was very nicely done. A lot of them aren't quite as easy moving as this one right out of the box, but added a little extra oil, clean things up. Very nice operation. Centering on these is really nice. Just really love the feel of these. So you can flip it with your thumb, no problem. Flip it with your finger, no problem. You got the button lock. Just a really cool looking knife. I love the coloration on this one. Very happy with this. Now I'm going to jump into this bronze one. I'm going to try not to touch it very much to start with. This bronze is amazing looking as you play with it with a little bit of Windex. So this is it when it's been all Windexed up. Real nice, rich. I don't know that the camera is doing this justice. It is a super rich bronze. Just a beautiful, beautiful color. Now, of course, bronze is a low voltage anodizing. So it's the lowest voltage color that you can get. Because of that, the level or the thickness of the anodizing is much thinner than the greens and some of the higher voltage colors. So as you touch it, you're gonna fingerprint it up. There you go. There's a nice, I had some stuff for my hair. So this is fingerprinted up. So you can take a look. Still has a nice brown appearance. It again still looks a little better in person than you're getting. It's faded it out just a little bit with those fingerprints. I mean, you can't ask for more fingerprinting than I'm doing right here now. So that sucker is fingerprinted up. Still really sharp color. So very nice. Dulled it somewhat. I'm gonna go ahead and do my flipping and all that kind of stuff while I'm playing with it in the hand. Feels good in the hand. Again, it is a little wider knife. If you're into a thicker, bigger knife, this definitely will fit the bill. Fits nicely in the hand. Even that large size pocket clip really kind of disappears in the palm of your hand. I really like how they've machined out that blade. Very cool design, and man, look at the thickness on this thing. The original Tiebreaker is probably half as thick as this. Maybe not quite as thin as that, but much, much thinner than this one. Again, flips like a champ. See, this one hasn't been played with a whole lot. The more you flip it, if you give it a little wrist action with that button, she'll close right up. The more you flip it, the smoother they get. My mid-tech is this design. Did it up in a blue and bronze. Man, cats are making all kinds of noise back there. But beautiful, beautiful coloration on it. Now, that's it fingerprinted. All of my knives ship out with a little notice. Hey, if your things get fingerprinted up, go ahead and use a little bit of standard Windex, soft towel, wipe it off. Just spray it right onto the towel, rub it all in, use a dry portion of your towel, and boom. I mean, look at that color just pop right back out. Yeah, I could just do a little bit more wiping and that kind of thing, but look at the color on this thing. Just amazing. Like I said, very, very happy with this. First, I didn't think I was going to go a bronze, but man, when I pulled this sucker out of my solution as I was playing with the voltage, I was so happy it wasn't even funny. And again, you just wipe off all those little spots, and you're right back to beautiful. So definitely a winner. Really happy with that bronze. That's a sharp looking one. Now if you want one that doesn't fingerprint up badly at all, if you've got the bronze up high, the bronze in the flats, same thing on this side. Get a little bit of fingerprinting as you go, but the bead blast does not grab the fingerprinting as much. Now is it just bright and shiny? No. But got a really nice purple into green, purple bluish to green fade with the bead blast. As you can see, sanded the high points, gave you some bronze on those as well. I will throw a lanyard in for whoever wants this one. This one's definitely not been flipped very much, but I mean, it flips like a champ. To get it where it drops that blade, it's just a matter of flipping it. The more you play with these knives, the easier they go. Now this is one that I went ahead and did some buffing on the pocket clip. So you got the dark from some of that darker bead blasting, and then you got the bronze in there. So it is a cool looking effect. I just thought on those other two, I was going to go ahead and leave it. The pivot cups, I didn't do anything with. I've learned the hard way, you don't buff those little tiny pieces, especially if it's something as specialized as this, because your buffer will tend to grab it and throw it across the shop, across the yard, across your porch, wherever your buffer is. So very easy to lose things, not a good idea. There's a shot of that button lock that Brian is famous for. Pushes in as soon as you got that in, it just drops right on in. These all do run on bearings. The automatic version actually runs on bushings, bronze bushings, but all of the flippers do have bearings in them, and that integral design is just fantastic. So I can't say enough good stuff about these. They are fantastic knives. I believe Brian Tighe and Friends sells the straight up out of the box gray version of this for $4.90. These are going for $5.10, a whopping $20 for all the work that I put into these. And I mean, just look at the result. Beautiful knives, fantastic pieces of art. So again, can't say enough about these. I am looking forward to a run that David from Brian Tighe and Friends said he was going to make up for me, which will be the mid-tech TIE fighters in a titanium handle. So very excited about those coming as well. We'll pick up some of those once that run is complete, as well as looking at a couple of the full custom California legal switchblades that Brian makes. So more to come in the future, but if you've ever wanted a tiebreaker, you want something a little bit beefier, these mid-techs are the way to go. And if you want something that looks sharp with a lot of color, the titanium they use on these things is just great. We're really happy with that. As they bead blast, The bead blasting tends to hide a couple little things here and there, so you can see this one I didn't sand the flat down quite as much. You can see just a little bit of lines in the milling. I really didn't leave much of that. There's a little bit there, but overall really nice. The fit and finish is really good. The bead blast hides that, so you don't see any of that milling when they bead blast. This one I did a lot of satin finishing on it, so you don't get any of those milling marks on the purple and green. There's a little bit on the bronze. The bronze color hides that type of thing fairly nicely, but this one I really went all out, getting those nice and smooth. So again, please check these out. They will be posted on the website within, actually by the time this video goes up, they will be posted. We are moving into the Thanksgiving Christmas season. I am really excited. I've got 100+ anodized knives in stock right now. So if you are looking for a mid-tack or high-end factory knife and you think it's made of titanium, there's a very good possibility that I might have one done up. So please check us out, see if there's anything that catches your eye, and we'll see you on the next video. Again, check us out, www.jdcutlery.com. Have a good one.